Hey everybody, how are you? This is Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher. It is Friday, February 16th, 2024. I hope everybody is well. This is episode 43. I cannot believe that. All right. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I thank all of you who keep coming back. That to me is more amazing. And those of you who are new, welcome. Thank you for hitting play. I hope you like what you see. This is all about cross stitch and quilting and my life and yeah. All right. So with that being said, school's fine. I have a student teacher who is learning to, get her footing. It's all a process. She's a perfectionist, much like I used to be, wanting to get it right. And, I think right is subjective. What is right for her may not be right for someone else. What is right for one group of kids is not necessarily right for the other group of kids. So she's learning that as the day goes by, with different groups, you have to change your style. But, so far, the kids, for the most part, are showing her a lot of grace and the respect that I'm hoping that they continue to show her. Like I've said before, they're a good group of kids. They have just been dealt a bad deal with the pandemic and whatever some of them are dealing with in their personal lives. So far we have burned 3 days because of weather. The first day we are making up on Monday, President's Day. We have to give it back. The second day, they changed some in-service day to a different category. So that meant that we, the teachers and staff, have to come back on Monday, June 3rd. But the kids don't. But now that we lost this past Tuesday, they haven't announced it yet, what they're going to do. I'm going to go out on a limb. Not that I have enough zeros in my salary to make this decision. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that worst case scenario would be that they make the kids come in on June 3rd. And then we have this in-service day on June 4th. June 3rd is a Monday. I cannot imagine, I don't know, I don't want to say that, but we have to be in school 180 days of the year between July 1st and June 30th. And honestly, the state doesn't care when those 180 days are. I've known districts that have made up days on Saturdays. Our seniors had to do that a couple of years ago because right before school started, there was a lightning strike on the high school. So the seniors had to make up the time, and they ended up doing the hours on Saturday, on 2 or 3 Saturdays. So you do what you have to do, and that's a hard lesson for kids to learn, is that it's not always the way they want it to be. So whatever, but we're doing well. The family's fine. Some of you that are new, I have 3 daughters. They are 37 and the twins are 30, and they're all doing well. My husband of almost 38 years is doing well, and our grandson, who is 10, he's a 10-year-old boy. He's playing basketball. He loves it, and he tried out for baseball, so we're going to see how that goes. And there we go. So I have been busy with WIPGO and all of that. Give me 1 second. I have to go get my book. Forgot about that. All right. Sorry about that. So yes, been busy with stitching and doing my things. So first of all, here is my February book of days. Been trying to keep up. As you can see, I met my goals for Whip Go, Boss Me, and Heifer, and I will explain those momentarily. I have not had a chance to sticker up my February because I can't find my sticker books. Yes. The room has exploded again. I'm sure they are like right behind me. Like right there. Just found them. So that will be on my goal list after I do the video. So here we go. So my Boss Me. All right, so let me explain Boss Me, Whip Go, and Heifer. So Whip Go is the brainchild of Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and I will link her down below. Basically, it's like bingo. You make a board that is 5x5, Whip Go, like whip go away, and you fill it out. The middle spot is a free space if you wish, and she chooses 2 numbers a month. One month she chooses 3 because obviously there's 12 months and 12 does not go in evenly to 25. So you work on you make a goal. You could work on your whips 3 days, you could touch them once, you could do so many hours, you can, do so many threads. Sometimes people will put on there, gift a friend, make a project bag, clean your craft room, organize your floss, whatever makes you happy, right? Whatever you want to accomplish. So I tried Whip Go last year. I was successful until about November, which of course, for many of us, that's when life goes wah because of the holidays. And I swore I wasn't going to do it again, but I'm giving it a shot. And one thing I did was I backed off on the number on my goals. Last year I had 5 days. This year I say touch it 3 times and I'm done. I sew on it 3 times. So I could sew on it, I could stitch on it in the morning and I could stitch on it in the evening, and that's 2 times. My word of the past few years has been grace. So I'm cutting myself some slack, right? All right. So then Missy and Kathy of 2 Needles Pulling Thread, and Jane and Chris of Boss Stitchers came up with the idea for Boss Me, Boston, Maine. And I was given the opportunity to participate in that. Same idea, make a board. All right. So then the Floss Boss and Cousins came up with their heifer board, H-E-I-F-R. Heifer, like, don't be a heifer, really. So anyway, so I thought, why not? What the heck? I only want to touch these things 3 times. I can do this. So I also tried to make my boards very generic. I didn't necessarily name specific projects because, sometimes when you're told what to do, you don't want to do it. And so with generic choices, I can choose the one I want. Does that make sense? All right. So I hope I have everything out here. If I don't, I'll have to pause again. So we're going to start with Whip Go. My Whip Go February, I don't have the line through them, but my Whip Go February was Christmas and brown. So I could choose any Christmas pattern I want. I could choose any brown pattern I want, or pattern with brown in it, and do 3 days and I'm good. Or do 3 times and I'm good. Now, you notice on the brown that I went to town. No pun intended. So, I don't know why, but I saw this chart, and I don't have the chart in my hands because I put it away. I saw this on the Stash Unload group on Facebook. I do not know if they're taking any new members, so I apologize. And it's a blackbird design, and I think it's part of the Garden Club series. But something in this chart just was like, stitch me. So I purchased it. I got the fabric that, it called for because I thought it looked beautiful. And I went to town. And I finished it. Can you believe it? And I did some weird stitches too. So this is on, I even left the sticker on here. This is on Weeks Dye Works 32 count cocoa linen. Now I did 2/2. And I want to say these are a combination of Weeks and Gentle Arts. But, people, I don't know why. But it's done. And you can see the funky stitches. I don't even know what they're called. Are they called Smyrna crosses? Down in the basket. Now, there's supposed to be some satin stitch. My satin stitch does not look good when I cross stitch. So I made just full crosses and these tiny little, I guess they're flower buds. But yeah. So that was my brown stitch. I just kept working on it. No idea why. It's a basket of cherries. That's what it's called. So if you're looking for it, that's the title. But I love it. I don't usually stitch on 32 and I don't usually do 2 threads, but I love it. I love it. Yes. And that's what matters, right? So, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if I'm going to attempt a flat fold. I've never done one before. A lot of my finishing, I'm going to wait until school's out because I can't, my brain isn't going to concentrate on what I need to do. So, I have this whole big thing left. And that's only a fat quarter. So, who knows? But yeah, it's a finish. Now, Christmas, my Christmas was, again, I could have done, and that's the other thing. So let me pull it up here. My heifer board, believe it or not, both of my February pulls were Santa. So here's a Santa, and where'd he go? There's Santa. Now, in my world, because it's my board, I could have said, okay, Santa's Christmas. I can do all 3 spots. Boom. Ta-da. I'm done. But I didn't. So I'm going to put a picture of this here, if I can remember to do it. This is the Crochet A Go-Go Christmas in the City. And this was, or is, a stitch along, I believe, with Chris the Camping Stitcher and Denise Stitches in Florida, I think. So anyway, I did a conversion, as I said, I talked about in video 41, I think. I did not have all of the DMC. So I went into my Color and Cotton and pulled a bunch. I only kept 2 DMCs, which were 816 and 754. So there's that. Now, if you really, really, really want my conversion, I'll put it down below. All right. So this is the chart. It's a PDF. I went online onto Etsy to Crochet A Go-Go. There's the name. And what she does is she sends it to you. She puts a watermark across it with your name and address and sends it to you. This is incredible. All right. So here's the where I was. Here's the where I was. And here's the where I am. Now again, I started it and just was like, yeah. And I discovered that if I swore I'd never buy an Apple product. I don't know why. I don't know why I was so anti-Apple. Because I had an iPod, right? The good old-fashioned iPod. In fact, you know, the big old white brick one that first came out with the dial. Yeah, we passed that around in the family. I got an iPad for Christmas, and I love it. So I discovered that, you know what? While the boys are watching something, or even if there's a football game on, plug in my AirPods, turn on Flosstube, and I can just go for it. So here are my colors. I'm going to do the old twisty thing. Maybe. I cut mine. I don't make my floss as long as other people do, because I don't want to deal with all the knots and the tangles and everything else. So, like I said, I just went. This is on a... Allow me to see if I wrote this down. Remember, I'm disorderly. So this is a project card I created with inspiration from Tiger Lily. Just says project card. It has my Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher on it. On the front, I have the project information. On the back, I have flosses and any notes I want to write on it. So this is on a piece of Morning Fog 36 count from Be Stitch Me. I wanted to do something different. So here we go. Isn't that cool? I love it. Love it. I love the red house because red is my favorite color. Now the one thing I don't know yet is the windows, because on the original chart the windows are not filled in. And because, she did it on a more like vintage country mocha type thing. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with those windows. If I did anything, I would do like a light gold to make it look like the lights are on. I haven't decided yet. So I know when you ask on Flosstube, what do you think, that you get 1,000 answers. And, everybody has their opinion. And I appreciate that. That's the one thing beautiful about living in this country, is that we all have our opinions. But what do you think? Do you think I should put some gold in there to make it look like the lights are on? That's my thought. And I have, there's a couple of golds in here, but I think, like this one, I think it's too deep. It's called Curry. So I'd have to find a lighter gold. But anyway, I love it. And that's all that matters, because it's mine. There you go. So that was my Christmas pull for Whipco. And I keep it in my Goose bag that I purchased from Goose. She makes wonderful bags. I make my own bags too, but she makes wonderful bags. And every once in a while it's like, oh, I like that fabric. I shall purchase. All right, so that was Whipco, Brown and Christmas. One down. My heifer board, Santa. All right, 2 Santa pulls. Some of the time I worked on Santa twice in a day. Some of the times I didn't. So anyway, I am doing... I thought I was doing a different one. Now I'm doing this one. I decided to do the 2023 Prairie Schooler Santa. The wonderful thing about these is that, at least on Santa, there's some big blocks of color. I am doing mine on the called for 18 count Davos, I don't know how you pronounce it. And it's weird because, you know, when I started stitching in the 90s, we went row by row by row by row, and I've never really learned to outline and fill in. That's just me, because I know as soon as I try to do that, I'm going to screw something up. So anyway, and I've already screwed something up because one of the candy canes is too long. But there we go. I'm using the called for DMC, so his coat is 221. Now the white, I may be using a different white. I don't know. I have it in my Starlight Stitching Co. Thingy do pouch. Maybe not. Maybe I am using white. It's in here somewhere. I thought I was using something else. Anyway, I'll figure it out. So that was my Santa. And as per Chris the Camping Stitcher's motivation, I ordered two. I got two of these little ones. These are Nurge hoops. It's like a blue. It's their #1 hoop. And so I bought two of these for smaller projects like Santa, because it's on a smaller piece of fabric, and I keep it in my Ohio. I keep all of my Santa stuff in my Ohio bag that I made. So that was my heifer board. Now, Boss Me was #1 catalog my charts. So for some reason one day, it might have been a snow day, I got into the mood to catalog my charts on a spreadsheet and did most of them. I would say 90% of them are done. The ones that aren't done are the ones that are whips in my basket, and some of them that are kitted, which, you know, I feel pretty good about that. So the other one was Summer Quaker. Where did I put it? Hold, please. All right, sorry about that. You know how that works. So, Summer Quaker by Lila's Studio. I also have Spring Quaker stashed away, and I have the new fall one, autumn, whatever it's called, stashed away. Keep it in my little cheater cloth hexagon bag with my project tag. These are the colors. They're all DMC. With my dear friend Missy's floss bling that are whoopie pies. So, Summer Quaker. I know there's a couple Sals out there floating around. One is from the Huga Stitcher. It's the Live in the Sunshine Sal. For her birthday, I know that Laura from Stitching by the Shore was involved in another one. I don't know what that one's titled. It might be #Summer Quaker Sal. But anyway, I don't know why. I'm really not a beach person, and I think I've said that before. I don't like to go and sit in the sand and get hot and gross and yucky. But give me the opportunity to go to like a rocky shore or on a lake. I'm in love. Like up in New England. My sister lives in Vermont. Don't ask me why. So here we go. Summer Quaker. I think all I had done, and I apologize, I don't have a picture of this. I'll have to see if I do, and if I do, I'll post it in here. All I had done was like maybe an inch of that diagonal line. Done. But You know, when your draw is pulled, you pull it out and you do it. And yes, I leave my needles in the margin. But anyway, I love it. Love it. And the nice thing about some of these motifs is like, oh, look what I got done. So this would be an example of, you know, like if blue is called, I can stitch on this for blue. If I have summer again somewhere on there, I can do that. This is on 36 count Ledger by Bestitch Me, I believe. And I'll double check. But yeah, I'm loving it. You know, it's I never thought I would be a stitcher that would have all these projects going, but you know, we have to have all the things. And yeah. So I'm hoping that once I retire, things will go a little bit easier and faster. Whoops. So that's my Boss Me Heifer and Whipco boards. So what else have I been working on? Well, once a month, Pam from Stitching in the Land of Good Enough hosts a Hawk-Run Hollow stitch, Zoom stitch. And if you know anything about Hawk-Run Hollows, they're not for the faint of heart. So I'm working on 2 of them. So this is the Village of Hawk-Run Hollow. I apologize for the glare. These things are huge. But the nice thing is that you can treat each one of these blocks as a separate stitch. So if you don't want to do it all in one shot, then you can, you know, break them apart and make little pillows or whatever. I am using the called for DMC. It's a crap ton of floss. I would have loved to use the silks. She charted it with NPI silks and the DMC conversion, but I just can't. And Vicki Clayton has a, has a conversion with her silks, and her silks are wonderful. A little less expensive than other silks. And had I known that when I started, I might have thought about it. But now that I'm using the DMC, honestly, I love the way they look. To me, it makes it look more, I don't know, what's the word? Folksy. So I'm doing them in DMC. So again, I will put up a picture of the before if I have it. This is a bed sheet, as a lot of people say. This is on, I have no idea, linen. It's 36, I know that. 36? 36. That I can tell you. So what I got done was on the second block, I filled in a lot of that grass. I did most of the fence while we were stitching. The nice thing about that fence, it's just the same pattern over and over and over again. I do check it. I don't take for granted that it's going to be the same thing all the way across. But some of these blocks are like almost full coverage. And yes, she did spell Isaiah wrong when she charted it, and she knows that, but she's not changing it. Kathy Barrick charted this for Carriage House Samplings, and some people have recharted the name. I'm leaving it. You know, who knows? Maybe way back when there was a name Isaiah. I don't know. Isaiah? Who knows? So, yeah. But I love it. These stained glass windows were a booger, because some of these windows have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different colors in them. But, you know, once I did the house first because it's white. So that's that. So I worked on that. I do love them. On my list, people. On my list. So then, I don't know why. All right, so I also started the map of Hawk Run Hollow a while ago through the encouragement of Chris the Camping Stitcher. People, she's prolific. And this is still in the hoop because I've been working on it like a beast. Where did I put it? Here it is. So there we go. Again, she charted it for NPIs. I chose to use the DMC because number one, expense. Number two, I'd already started the other one with DMCs and I wanted them to be similar. And and it's not full coverage. I mean, there's a lot of background in there. So, I mean, like, what is full coverage? Is the run, the water, and things like that, and the bird. But okay, enough said. So, like I said, this is still in the hoop. Now, I did have to frog a little bit because some of the wing tufts were in the wrong place. Doing wing tufts is not a good idea when zoom stitching because you forget which wing tuft you're working on. So I had to go back and fix that, and I had to go back and fix some of the black on the top above the eye. So I thought, rather than tax my brain trying to figure out how I could fudge it, I just undid it and redid it, and I'm good with that. And so my goal this week was to get the eye done. Now there is some of the border done up here under the hoop, but you can't see it. So now I'm working on this black part, which is like between the wing and the neck. And I'm going to fill in the brown around these feathers. I guess they're feathers. They're not wing tufts. They're feathers. So this is where I am right now. Working on that black, and then I can fill in all of this. Now I think what I'm going to do next, I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm going to work on these feathers, stitch all those so I can stitch the brown. I don't know why I have this desire to get the bird done. I don't know. Who knows? But there we go. So I've been working on that. And these are did I show you these? I don't know if I showed you these. But there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. So that's what I've been working on. Those are my whips. I try to do a little bit each day if I can. Some days I come home from school and I'm totally exhausted. Obviously, my life is a little easier right now because I have a student teacher. But there are still late assignments coming in that I have to grade, so I do them, and plus I have to sometimes put out fires. So there you go. So that's what I'm working on. What else is new in my life? Well, I got my fabric of the month from Color and Cotton. It's beautiful. In fact, it would have been great for one of those Hawk Run Hollows. It's called Hay Bale 36 count. It's sort of a golden brown. The camera on my laptop does not do it justice. That's another one of my goals this summer, is to figure out how to truly film and edit on my iPad. And I got my floss of the month. I'm not going to pull them all out, and I haven't figured out the theme. But there are some, well, I'll pull them out of the plastic. Why not? They have to come out anyway. So these are all like I think they're recycling some of the colors, which is fine because some of the ones I don't have. So, yeah, that dark one is green heron. I didn't know there was a green heron. I know there's blue herons because they land across the street in the stream. Sorry for the rattling. These are sort of pastellies, but you know, they're neutrals. North Star, Mint Julep. Oops, I dropped medallion. And get this away from the microphone as much as possible. These are all like brownish neutrals. So Jamestown, Harvest Wheat, Portobello, things like that. I love almond. It's like a whitey gray. So that's that. Got those. Love it. Love it. Excuse me. Need to fix my chair. Oh, it's sliding out from under me. So speaking of sticker books, I found this one on Amazon. So I bought it. They're nice little sticker books. There's a whole series. As you can see there. So I got that. I'm in the Signs of Christmas. I signed up for the Signs of Christmas club through Crazy Annie's. They're by Annie Bees. I got the first two and I thought, you know what? If I really want them, I'll get them later. So I sent them an email and say, hey, please take my name off the club. Who knows? But anyway, the February one was Toy Emporium. They're cute. I mean, they're cute. I need to be realistic. You know, love the bear. History nerd. It's the red, white, and blue. It's a quilt kit. One of these days. It finishes 65 by 75. Beautiful box. One of these days. One of these days. I know there's something else I missed, but I'm not going to pause this again. And then this pattern. This is the Sew Sampler box from Fat Quarter Shop. And I used to get these every month, and then I realistically said no. Well, every once in a while that one pattern will be like, ugh, it's so cute. So rather than try to find somebody who didn't want their pattern on a stash and loading group and, you know, just pay for the pattern, we go for the whole thing. So what you get is you get a bunch of stuff. They're really nicely packed. I mean, when you go through this and you look at everything you have, they used to put the value of the box. Maybe you have to figure it out. 5, 10, 20, 28, 35, 35 and 24, 59. So this was a Lori Holt theme box. If you don't know who Lori Holt is, be in my bonnet. She has some really nice vintage looking fabrics. But you got they call them roly-polies from Riley Blake, of her latest line, Mercantile, a add a 1/4 inch ruler, needles, who can't use sewing needles for their machine, a cute little bee thread cutter. This is to wrap binding around. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but what the heck. Now, you also get a coupon, as my daughter would say, and a free, you get a 15% off Lori Holt Notions coupon and a QR code to scan for a pattern. But I can't show you those. Why did I buy all this? for this. That's what I bought it for. I probably could have figured it out on my own. And I think I did figure it out on my own. But, you know, I have so many scraps that I can do this. I have so many strips that I could cut down into these little hats. In my spare time. Between 2 and 4 in the morning. Yeah. All right. Oh, and then you also got, they always have a series of patterns, like a monthly pattern card, and this was this month. Apparently it's Pressed Flowers Quilt Along. So there was block 10. I don't have the other one, so I probably won't do anything with it. But anyway. So one of these days, you never know. Sorry, I'm rattling the box. I'm going to save the last acquisition for a minute. All right. Excuse me. So, my husband was after me to show these off because I made these. My mother had made us all felt stockings when we were little. My mother was very artistic, and unfortunately, when my parents divorced, she kept my stocking. Why, I don't know. But anyway, so I asked her for the patterns for the little figures. Long story short, I made myself one, my husband one, I made each of my kids one. They were upstairs in the attic, and some bugs got to them. So I had to just pitch them all. Broke my heart. The patterns for the little figures, like gingerbread men and stuff, I don't know what happened to them. So I needed to make new stockings. Well, then Eddie was born, and Eddie needed a stocking before everybody else. So anyway, I decided to make quilt stockings. So this is Eddie's. And my mother-in-law embroidered the names on her machine. So that's the back of Eddie's. And mine is red, of course. You know, the kids got theirs before we got ours, but mine is red. And of course, look who's on the back. And my husband loves flying geese. And green. My oldest likes purple. One of my twins, Abby, she loves purple. The other twin, she said, I don't care. Excuse me. So I just took scraps of Christmas fabric and made up my own block. Put that on the back. And Abby's fiance, Curtis, he likes blue. So I just made mini churn dashes, and probably the most un-Christmas fabric, Star Wars. He likes Star Wars. Why not? So those are my stockings. Now I can tell my husband I showed them to you. All right, so let's talk giveaways. I said it. Sorry, Chris. Shares. Gift-aways. Objects of which I bestow upon others. The first two were patterns that were not claimed the first go-round, and so I redrew for them. And of course I wrote it down and my paper slid somewhere, and that's what happens, right? Right. So the first one that was a redraw was Butternut Road's Celtic banner. And this is going to Glee Hansen. So Glee, make sure you email me. Okay? There you go. And the Barnes, Lori Holt Quilty Barnes, is going to Terry Phelps 7456. So congratulations to both of you. And finally was the sending out for adoption into the wide world the Christmas rules that I'm just not going to finish. And so it's the whole piece of fabric and the threads, because you got to have the threads it started on, right? The only thing the individual has to do is to buy the pattern, because I may stitch this again. I want to stitch this again because Primrose Cottage just came out with a new 4th of July rules. So what I would like to do is just have them done so that I can put magnets on the back and, change them out. So this is going to Lisa Tripp -HS5TM. So Lisa, Glee, and Terry, please drop me an email at disorderlystitcher@gmail.com. Remember, you must be over 18 to give me your address, do all the things so I can get this out to you. Let me know in the next week or so, because when I do the next round of video, if they're not claimed, I'm going to put them back out again. All right? So, the last piece of haul is also a share. As you know, red is my favorite color. And when I was watching Brenda and the Serial Starter, Brenda and Laura, they mentioned 2 Hands Across the Sea exclusives. One is at Hobby House. That's the one I forgot in the other room. And I think it's called Letter to a Friend. It only has 3 colors in it. So that one's going to be done in silk. The other is from A Stitch in Time in Hobart, Tasmania, Australia. Now, you had the option of just getting the chart in the fabric, getting the chart, the fabric, and the silks, getting whatever you want. I just chose the charts. So the one from Australia is the red sampler. And it's called A Stitch in Time Saves 9, 1886. Like I said, it's exclusive to this shop in Australia. So, what do? You go in and you say, add to cart. So the package came yesterday. First of all, I had to think about what I was getting from Australia. And when I remembered, I was like, oh, cool. They accidentally sent me 2. And this, I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's like a bonus chart, I guess. So being the person that I am, the way I was raised, I got on the emails and I emailed them back and I said, hey, and I double checked my order first to make sure I hadn't accidentally ordered 2. So I emailed back and I said, hey, you accidentally sent me 2 charts. Would you like me to send one back? And the lady at this shop said, oh my goodness, the postage is going to be more expensive than it's worth. Just keep it and gift it to a friend. So I said, well, thank you very much. I'm going to put it out as a gift away on my Flosstube, and I've, mentioned their shop. Not many shops would do that. I guess shops would do that. I don't know. Maybe it's easier than putting it back in the inventory. But I thought that was very generous. So if anybody else really wants to do a red sampler, or you choose your color, all right, it's, you can use any silk you want. It's not very big. It's 159 by 155 stitches. So if you did it on a 40 count linen, it would be about 8 by 8. I'm rounding up. Okay, so you wouldn't even, I mean, you'd need a fabric size. For 40 count, you need a fabric size about 14 by 14. So is that a fat quarter? I don't know. But you could do this in any color you want. So if you don't want red, you could do it in blue, you could do it in green, you can do it whatever you want. So I am gifting that away, gifting the second copy. So if you are interested in A Stitch in Time Saves 9, the exclusive from A Stitch in Time in Hobart, Tasmania, Australia, leave me a comment and use the word time. 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 All right? Time. Time. And let me know. All right? So, showed you my whips, showed you my finish, showed you my haul, showed you my book, plans. Really? I'm the disorderly stitcher, people. My plans are going to be that when the numbers are called for March, work on those, 3 times. I'm really into this map of Hawk Run Hollow. I don't know why. Just to live and do the best I can. I did purchase 6 charts, pre-order charts, and the market cookbook. I didn't buy the cookbook last year, so I thought I would this year. I ordered a couple Therese Kogut, and I ordered the new Tiny Town, the Winter Tiny Town. Oh my gosh, if you haven't seen it, go look at it. It's beautiful. And 2 or 3 others. I ordered them from the Crafty U in Ohio because they do a pop-up shop at the Steel City Stitchers Retreat, which is held aftermarket, so they will bring my order to the retreat. I can't think. And so, save some money on shipping. And so when those come in, I'll show them to you. So that's on the future radars, going to that retreat. I'm also going to the Grace Notes retreat in August in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this the last time, but I gave up my seat at StitchCon Weekend B because I wanted to go to Stitch New England in October, and decisions have to be made. So I've done StitchCon. It's incredible. You meet so many wonderful people. You see so many beautiful projects being worked on. But I had to make a choice. And so I'll be in Rhode Island in October. Of course, being the history nerd that I am, I teach all about the Industrial Revolution. So who knows, I might spend a couple extra days and go up to see some of the old cotton mills. Yes, I will drive. I don't mind driving long distances. It's driving in cities with one-way streets that drive me nuts. So there you go. All right. I forgot one more thing. So I was on before Grandpa and Eddie went to New York to spend the night on the USS Intrepid for Scouts. There was a woman on Facebook Marketplace selling some old antique spools, and I said, okay, do you have, she was like right down the road, and I said, do you still have these? She got back to me, she said yes. So we met in the next town over, and so I got these spools, and they're beautiful. So I got that one. Did I show you these? Maybe I did. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, I thought this one was different. Sorry. And this one, skinny one. And this one, short one. And that one. William F. Groce, Groce. Oh, wow. There's a name on the end. Phillipsburg, New Jersey. Terrell Brothers. I'm going to have to look that one up. No name on that one. There is a stamp on that one, but I can't read it. And there's something on that one, but it's got paint on it. So anyway, don't know what I'm going to do with them, but they're beautiful. My mother's probably rolling over in her grave because I'm looking at old stuff. And I hated antiques when I was little. And she'd be like, why are we looking at this old stuff? But, okay, so confession time. When I was a teenager and I would be driving around, I would see these signs and I would read them and I thought it said Antique. And one day when I was about 16 or 17 years old, I saw the sign and I saw the old stuff and I realized it was antique. Yeah. Antique. So I still call them antiques. All right, folks. So have a wonderful rest of your February. Please be kind to one another. I know there's been some concern out there with floss tubers who are being, I hate the word attacked, but you know, for some, floss tube is one way that they supplement their income if they have chosen to monetize their channel, and that's their choice. And I respect that. I haven't gone that far. I don't want to say that far. I haven't gone down that path yet. You know, that's why some people see ads, is because the channels are monetized. Another reason you might see ads is because you don't have a premium subscription. I do, so I don't see ads. So if you see ads in the middle of our videos, that could be why. But you know, I've also seen messages in Facebook groups about, you know, people making comments, and I know we all have our opinions, and that's fine. And like I said, my word for the past couple years has been grace. And I used to be one of those people that would be like, why are you doing that? That's stupid. Nah, nah, nah. When I started giving myself grace, then I started to realize that, you know what, I don't have to agree with the way they did something. If I have an opinion about it, keep it to myself. You know, do I always understand why somebody does a stitch project on a certain color fabric? No. Do I always understand, you know, why they use silks instead of this? No. I don't have to understand it. I just enjoy it, you know? And if you don't like the floss tube, if you don't like the comment, then move on. If we would all start giving each other grace and some understanding and be kind. This is Be Kind Month. Maybe if it was more than just the shortest month of the year, the world would be a better place. That's my soapbox. And I'm going to get off of it now. So, you all have a wonderful rest of your February. I will try and be back before the end of the month because we do get an extra day this year. And if not, I will see you in early March. I don't know what's happening with the weather because the groundhog lied. And we're supposed to be getting some snow tonight into tomorrow morning. And yeah, depends on the way they track around here. Depends on the way they track. That snow that went through the other day was a very heavy, wet, fast storm, and it was melted by 2 in the afternoon. So, you can hear my heater coming on. So, all right, enough rattling along because it's been an hour and 45 seconds. So, you all take care. Stitch what you love. Spread some kindness. And keep your stitches crossed. Bye.